All right, we're joined now by Kenny Berger, CBS Sports NBA insider. Of course, he's doing his show every Saturday as well, 6 to 8 Eastern, called Eye on Basketball with my good friend, former partner, too, Jody Mack, on CBS Sports Radio nationally. Kenny, how are you, bud? What's happening?
I'm great. I'm looking forward to this series. I think it's going to be lots of fun.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. Tiki and I have been saying the same thing. And maybe this is, an easy way to ease into it. The obvious stuff is LeBron and Steph. But to me, I think maybe even more interesting, because I think it really determines the outcome. I think the wild card for the Cavs was obviously Kevin Love. And I think that Draymond Green, based on his poor play the last, 8, 9 games, has become a bit of a wild card for the Warriors. Where is Draymond Green right now? Where is he hiding, Draymond Green?
I'm with you, BT. I agree 100%, and that was the guy that I focused on yesterday, and the guy that I wrote about. In Draymond, I agree with Love. I think he's a key for Cleveland in that he's kind of been a little schizophrenic throughout the year, and has really been able to find his game and his niche throughout the playoffs in terms of playing inside out and not just being a standstill shooter. Draymond has been so steady for the Warriors the last couple of years. I mean, he's been a spark plug for them. He's been a defensive ace for them, able to guard multiple positions. He knocks down threes. He gets them going in transition. And then all of a sudden he runs into the Oklahoma City Thunder and he forgets how to play basketball. And he did play a little better as the series evolved. He played better in 6 and 7, a little better in 5. But the thing that interests me about him is that he is now entering the finals very much on the edge of suspension. And the thing about it is that the Cavaliers know that too. So that was the question I put to him yesterday. I'm like, hey, you got, 2 techs and 1 flagrant to go and you're suspended for a game. Are you worried about them trying to bait you? And he said, I can't do that. I just have to play my game. I'm not going to go into the game worrying about that. But I think it's a real issue because if the Cavs can find a way to get him riled up and get his blood boiling a little bit and he makes a poor decision, then we're in another 3-day period of media coverage of everybody wondering if he's going to be suspended or not. And that could change the outcome of this series in a big way.
But you know what's interesting about that there, Ken? Sometimes you run the risk of adversely affecting your own game. If you're so preoccupied, I know you know this, but with trying to disrupt somebody else's mental rhythm, you kind of get off the rails yourself.
That's true. And you can get, and it's a risky game to play. The thing about it is it doesn't take much to get Draymond's blood boiling. I mean, he's pretty much in full boil when he walks onto the court. From the Warriors' standpoint, he just needs to play better. He needs to just play his role and play the game that has been so effective for him, and not get involved in all the other shenanigans. But the leg kicks are just a weird thing. I mean, I haven't seen this many of them. I don't remember seeing this happen a lot, and I think the Cavs are certainly a team that's going to be on the lookout for those and making sure the league is on the lookout for them as well.
Yeah, you talk about the lookout and the guys that Draymond Green may potentially affect. Obviously, it was Steven Adams in the Western Conference Finals, but who would be that person? We kind of threw it. Would it be J.R. Smith that he'd be out to mentally disrupt, or is it Kevin Love because they know that if he has one of those days where he disappears, that's the easiest way. That's how the Raptors did it, to beat this Cavaliers team. Who's the object of Draymond Green's ire?
Pretty much everybody. Anybody you put in front of him. I think you'll see him banging around underneath with Kevin Love a good bit. I think you'll probably see he and Tristan Thompson going at it, mixing it up a little bit. You will occasionally see him on LeBron in some fashion when the Cavs go small and LeBron goes down into the post. So I think you're going to see Draymond very much in the mix across the board, because the thing that's so interesting about these two teams is that they're both able to play big and small, and they're very versatile, and it's going to be a chess match very similar to the Oklahoma City series with the Warriors, although the Cavs don't have that kind of length and athleticism. But I think there's going to be a chess match for both coaches in terms of, do I stick with what I think will work for me, or do I match the lineup that the other team is putting on the floor? Very
That's
interesting.
Fair.
From a coaching standpoint.
No doubt. Talking to Kenny Berger, who joins us all the time. Kenny, favorite of the show here, CBS Sports NBA Insider, 6 to 8 Eastern. every Saturday throughout the finals with our guy Jody Mack, 9 Eastern tonight, Game 1 on ABC. I'm going to give you 4 words, all right? Balanced, measured, inspired, and accountable. And I guarantee, like me, you have never used those words to describe J.R. Smith until recently. So my question here is, can he sustain this? Is he fully evolved? Is he past being a knucklehead?
I'm so hesitant to talk about baiting people. I'm so hesitant to take that bait because there have been a couple of instances in his career before where there was a temptation to say, hey, maybe he's turned the corner. And then he drills. Who was it? Who was it from the Knicks or the
It was
Celtics
Jason
that he
Terry.
drilled in
Jason Terry.
Yeah, Jason Terry, with the elbow and gets suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I just feel like he's got too much of a track record to say that he's turned that corner. And you know, he has done a wonderful job. I think he's bought into what the Cavs are doing. You know, when he gets hot and is able to hit some of those shots, you know, that look like no, oh yes, good shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being JR, he's a real important part of what the Cavs are doing. I just don't buy into. I mean, he's just too unpredictable for me to say. Yeah, he's all better now. He's good. I'm not sure.
Ken, one of the reasons that I think his evolution has been important for the Cavs because a lot of times they play that 5-out offense. You know what I mean? Where they're just standing around the perimeter and shooting 3-pointers, and they did it to a record number in the first couple of rounds, and even through the finals as well, the conference finals as well. Are they going to try, or is it prudent for them to try to match what Golden State does in order to find a level playing field?
It is absolutely not, in my opinion. I do not think, you know, you make a great point, Tiki. They shot and made more 3-pointers per game in the playoffs to this point than Golden State, which is remarkable because Golden State, that's their neighborhood. They own that place. And the Cavs cranked it up. If you try to out-Warrior the Warriors, it's going to be a very short series. They can't do that. They have to use the other things that they do well, getting to the basket. They have 2 of the best rim attackers in the league in Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. They have to exploit those. And if they try to get into a 3-point shooting contest with the Warriors, it's not going to end well.
Ken, I don't know how you feel about this. I want to throw this by, though, because obviously Iguodala started last game. It worked out well. And Harrison Barnes, it came off the bench, played 22, 23 minutes. But it's my opinion, I would start Barnes again, and the reason's pretty simple. We know that LeBron James, for the most part, eases into games. First 6-7 minutes, really defers, gets his guys involved. I'm not so sure that I want to waste Iguodala's energy and have him expend all that mental energy for really 6 or 7 minutes where LeBron's not overly active. I'd rather save that and conserve that for later in the game. What do you think that Steve Kerr does?
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of it that way, BT. I do believe that Kerr is going to start Iguodala, and I feel that that's a comfort zone for him and for the team because that was how they won the championship last year when they made that change in the starting lineup, and I think they'll go back to that. But it's not a bad point that you make, that LeBron does like to explore the game a little bit early as opposed to just attacking it relentlessly. Maybe it's a little different in the finals. Maybe there's a little heightened, attack mode for him early because they can't, especially on the road, they can't. There's no waiting. If you wait for the bus will never come. They have to come and attack this team, or they're going to be in for a long night. But I do think it's an interesting point and Draymond Green actually said yesterday, you know, he feels like, you know, we're definitely going to see a different LeBron James than we saw in the finals last year, where he had to do it all because he didn't have his other 2 guys. And Draymond actually feels that LeBron is more dangerous in this role, more dangerous as a facilitator, can hurt you in more ways, and won't wear down physically the way he did in the finals last year.
All right, Kenny, we're going to do our predictions on the other side of this break, but who do you got?
I have the Warriors in 7, and the 7 being just the utmost sign of respect for LeBron James, because I don't think, if you look all over the floor, I don't think the series is that close. I think the matchups are really tough for Cleveland. I think they're going to have a very difficult time guarding the Warriors and stopping them. I think they can score with them, but I don't think they can stop them when they need to. So I'm going to say 7 just because, look, LeBron took him to 6 last year pretty much by himself, and he's got Love and Irving now. So they've got, and Channing Frye wasn't there last year. So I think the Cavs are certainly better this year. I don't see them beating Golden State.
Kenny, really good stuff. We'll keep reading you throughout the finals and obviously into the NBA draft. Ken Berger, CBS Sports NBA Insider, 6 to 8 Eastern every Saturday throughout the season. Eye on Basketball with Jody Mack. Have a good time, man. Good spot. Thank you.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
See you, Ken.
Always a pleasure, Ken. So, all right.